What are your guys' future plans, like your immediate future? You guys are playing a show in May 26th with the Sundials and June 28th with 28 Degrees.
Yeah, we got a couple of shows coming up, and this summer we really want to get into a studio and like lay down a legit EP somewhere. We have a couple places in mind. And we also want to get on some kind of label this summer. Those are kind of the big plans. Maybe talk to some management too.
You guys, this band emerged after Raster Shift. Like, what musical differences or similarities are there at all between the
They're
two
similar,
bands?
but they're quite different. Like, the chords are a lot more, I don't know. Raster Shift was like the perfect like foundational setup, like really like raw, like raunchy, like Lansing, like alley vibes, like for me. And the chords are just, I don't know, a lot more a step up of like, I feel like we all have a lot more space to do what we want to do with this band. So it's like just a big progression. Like, I don't know.
Well, but like, what about like musical, like
The
influences?
sound, I'd say we're a lot more 60s, like the chords, like influence, like we tend to like take a lot of influence from the 60s. And Raster Shift has a little more of that like punk edge to it, I would say, but not quite punk.
Like, continuing on the same train of thought, I guess, what are some of your like influences, film or TV or and music in general?
As far as music goes, I feel like the Arctic Monkeys are like Raster Shift, but also the chords, I would say, were like they've been a big influence. And I would say the Rolling Stones, like a lot of their 60s and even early 70s stuff has been a big influence musically, just kind of that garage aspect to it. And yeah, just any like of the late, for me, like a lot. And the newer, like, yeah, so like Arctic Monkeys and like the Cribs, like the modern day indie rock. And then also like the 60s bands, like, I wouldn't say we sound very much like the Doors, but I'd definitely say they have an influence on us.
What have you been listening to recently?
I've been all over the place. Like, I listen to stuff personally. Like,
Yeah.
I listen to stuff that's not even involved with rock music, like Spangle. But Rolling Stones I've been listening to a lot lately. I'm always listening to the Doors a lot. Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name, the chords?
We just needed a name. Like, we needed a band name, and we were going through like a bunch of ideas. And I know Josh really wanted like a the and then something plural. It's kind of like that legit like classic band name. And so I thought of the chords like CHORDS, like a guitar chord. But then he suggested take out the H, and I like it. Like, it doesn't really mean anything though, but I like it like that.
Yeah, that was my follow-up. Does it has any meaning or not?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay. Like, what are some of your lyrics about? Do they have any message or anything?
I don't know. We all, like, all three of us, like, we're thinking of getting a fourth member soon, but that hasn't really happened yet. All three of us right now, like, we all contribute to the songwriting, and I would say we each have our own style. Like, when I write, it's really, I take influences from anywhere, and I don't try to think of anything. Like, when I'm writing, like, I just go at it, kind of like let my like subconscious filter through.
Consciousness type
Yeah,
writing?
yeah. And I would, but like Josh, I feel like has more of a, like, I get like Oasis vibes, like more directed maybe, like a lot of the times I'll take an idea and he'll kind of like shape it up a little more, and vice versa though. As far as the lyrics go, I'd say it's like that, but then musically it's kind of the other way around. He'll have like a really vague idea and I'll kind of like shape it up and like fine tune it a bit more, you know what I'm saying?
Do you guys have a mission? If you guys have a mission statement, what would it be, or do you? And if you do, what is it?
I wouldn't say so. Like, we're just like a band. Like, we're not really trying to get anywhere per se. Like, obviously you want to progress forward, but I wouldn't say we're trying to like specifically do any. We're just taking it one thing at a time, you know what I'm saying, and just like enjoying the ride. Like, if we were to like get really famous someday, like that would be just as like enjoyable as like these days, like the songwriting, like kind of unknown days. Like, I enjoy it like thoroughly, so it's just like enjoying the ride, I suppose. It's the mission statement, maybe, I don't know.